You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
It is Thursday, February 20th.
We're having a packed the studio day.
It is.
And it includes a robot.
How often do you get to have a robot in studio? I mean, last week we had fossils in studio. This
I know.
week we have a robot. We get the coolest
it's like
program.
show and tell on the Coffee Hour, but with the coolest things.
We haven't had food in the studio in a while. But, although I will say, when they started setting up the robot today, I thought it was a robot that made waffles. But not to disappoint, but it doesn't make waffles.
It's always about food.
But it does something really cool. So I know it always comes back to food. Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting the Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
In studio with us this morning, should I say the famous?
Drum roll.
The famous Robo Raiders, our
famous.
favorite robotics team, because they come to visit us quite often. At least once a year, they come to visit us and share and demonstrate their robot with us. So we're going to go around the room and introduce the Robo Raiders this morning, starting way over here on the left. Good morning. Is this Bella? Yeah. Good morning, Bella. Thanks for being our guest in the studio this morning. And then next up is
Alana.
Good morning, Alana.
I'm Nathaniel.
Isaac.
Hannah.
Matthew.
Taylor.
Well, good morning. Thank you all for being here this morning and bringing. And there's one more member of the team, but I don't think he can speak for himself. Who did you bring along with you?
Yes, we have our robot named Mando down on the floor here, and he's going to be driving a little bit later on today.
See, you didn't know the robot's name was Mando, did you?
I did not know the robot's name is Mando. It makes it way cooler.
Wait till you see the whole thing.
I know. I haven't seen it yet.
You
I'm pretty
haven't
excited.
Got the preview.
No.
So why are you on the Robo Raiders team? Why did you join the Robo Raiders? Who would like to join us on that question? Taylor?
The first robotics is like this big overarching program, K through 12, and I've been doing this since I was like 8, and everywhere I've moved, I've joined a team. So when I moved to St. Louis, I had to find a team, of course. So I found a team with good morals and to help me grow in my STEM knowledge and my business knowledge, because robotics has both of those. So it's been a really good thing for me, this team.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to share why they're on this robotics team?
One thing I greatly enjoy about being on a robotics team, and especially the Robo Raiders, is the problem-solving aspect. Whenever we're building a robot, there are always problems that we're having to solve, and I really enjoy being able to come up with innovative or creative solutions to those problems and being able to see them work, and it's just a really rewarding feeling.
Yeah. And you've been in studio with us before, haven't you?
Yes, I've been here for the past 2 years.
Nice. So what is your role on the team?
So this year, my role is the fabrication and engineering lead, and I'm also the lead of the lift subsystem. That means I'm in charge of the design process of how we get to our final stage of the robot, and also the building of that, especially on the lift subsystem of the robot.
That sounds really awesome. Is it really fun?
Yes.
So that's your role. What about the rest of you? What are your roles on this team?
So my role on the team is I'm in charge of the marketing and getting our displays and social media up to par. And I also, at competition, am the pit boss.
What is a pit boss?
So at competition, we have like a 9x9 square where we are able to set up like displays and stuff, and then the judges come around. So I basically tell people what to do in it and how to set it up and who needs to leave.
Sounds like a fun job.
It is.
All right. Who else? Let's share. Hannah, share your position on the team.
I'm the lead competition scout. So I make sure all the scouts are coordinated and we get all the information in. So.
What's a scout?
Okay. During competitions, the scouts go and watch all the matches and collect data from all the other teams. And at the end, if we make it onto, I think it's top 4, we're able to choose our own teams. And we use the data collected by the scouts to see which teams are best fit for our robot and which team alliance will be the strongest.
Very interesting.
This is legit stuff.
Isaac?
My name is Isaac. I am a co-project manager, and I am the lead of finances. And during competition, I am a drive coach.
Drive coach. What does a drive coach do?
So we have a drive team, the team that drives the robot. We have a driver and an operator, and then 2 drive coaches. So the driver and operator drive the actual robot on the field, and the drive coaches kind of look at the field and be the brains of the operator and driver so that they can focus on what they need to be doing.
Wow.
Very cool.
So this is more than just one person like controlling what the robot is doing.
yes.
That's what I'm hearing. It takes a whole team to
It's
control.
teamwork.
Yeah. Nathaniel?
Okay. I am the operator for the robot during competitions, but then also I do a lot of marketing stuff, designing the flyers we make and display boards and all that fun jazz.
Ilana, what's your
I
role?
also do marketing stuff. I'm one of Taylor's minions.
Aha! Taylor gets minions.
And I'm one of Hannah's minions during the competition. I'm a competition scout as well. And I do programming.
Wow, you got a lot of roles. Very cool. And Bella?
So I am the public relations lead and the CNC lead for our team.
So what is CNC for people who don't know that?
So
that name?
it's a machine to where we can make custom parts. We have a lot of them on our robot, and we can cut different things out of aluminum, different plastic materials. So that's been very helpful instead of just buying off-the-shelf products.
Absolutely. Do you actually get to design what the CNC gets to cut out? Or
Yes, we use CAD software, and then we put it into the machine.
Very cool. So you understand the CAD software and how to design all these parts.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So do you have like a full idea of what your robot is going to look like before you start cutting parts out?
Yes, so before we start cutting parts for a system, we build the whole system in the CAD software we use. It's called Fusion 360. And then we can build all the parts that we want to cut out in that software. So, and then we can see how they fit together into the larger system, so we can make sure that all the parts of that part that we're going to be cutting out, all the holes and the cutouts and the shape and everything is what we want it to be. So it'll be strong enough, but still light enough that we can use it.
So what percentage of your robot is parts that you've actually made yourselves? Do you know that? Or like just a general, a guesstimate maybe?
We have about 50 parts on our robot that we have made ourselves.
Wow.
I don't know how many parts we've ordered because there's a lot of screws on there.
Okay, that's fair.
But there are a significant number of pieces, and especially large pieces, that we have made ourselves.
That is so cool. So when you come across a problem or something comes up that you didn't expect, how do you go about solving that problem or that challenge? Who wants to take that question? Bella?
So recently we had a professional come in, Brigadier General Blameyer, a retired general from the Air Force, and he taught us the 5 whys process, to where we pick a problem, we ask why as many times as we need to find the root cause of it, and then from there we can find a solution to fix the problem.
And if we have a problem with communication, well, we did have some problems with communication on our team. So we brought in a professional who's a colors personality trainer from Insight to Learning. And she taught us how all our personalities can work together and our different personalities and how we do conflict, but how to get over that.
Yeah.
So what
Social
color?
skills.
What color did you end up with?
I'm blue, which is more feeling and people orientated, and then there's green, orange, and gold. Gold's like lists, and orange is like sort of out of the box, fun. We're all fun. And then green is more the analytical sort of side of things.
So as blue, what other colors do you find more challenging to connect with or work with?
Definitely greens, because greens, they obviously have their strong sides, but it's kind of harder for them to understand the blues, and they're kind of on opposite sides of the spectrum. But I mean, I love all the colors, but personally,
So
I would say
diplomatic.
green.
All right, so who are the greens in the room? Who are the greens?
That would be me. I'm actually mostly gold, but green is a strong secondary of mine, which means that it's like completely opposite of blues.
So I'm also green, but I'm also blue at the same time, so my colors kind of bounce around several times. So.
Wow.
Did you find that do you find like inner conflict having green and blue both?
Yeah.
So it sounds like you are learning a lot, not only within your group, but also inviting experts to come help your group learn more from their own area of expertise. That's fascinating. I really want to come to your workshop and see you working in action. I think we need to come on location sometime and see you actually working on the robot and attacking a problem too. Man, that's really neat. Well, we're going to come back in just a little bit and actually learn more about the robot this year and demonstrate the robot on Facebook Live.
That's the plan.
So if you're listening,
gotta go boot it up.
So if you're listening right now, go check out Facebook.com/KFUO radio. You'll find us going live here in just a little bit and see the Robo Raiders with Mando in action. What a great name. You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
The Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, on behalf of Concordia Plan Services, Lutheran Housing Support Corporation, Concordia University System, Lutheran Church Extension Fund, the LCMS Foundation, and Corporate Synod, daily reaches out to our members and partners, working together to support our local, global, and international ministries, church workers, and LCMS initiatives at large to carry the mission forward and to serve each other in love. Opportunities to serve, lcms.org/careers.
You hear the program By the Way every day here at KFUO Radio. And By the Way is happy to announce that Paul Devontier, the host of the program, will be at St. Paul's Lutheran Church on Sunday, February 23rd from noon until 2. Why? Because he has a brand new By the Way book. He'll give you a free copy if you stop by, and he'll even sign the book for you. So if you'd like, you're welcome to do so by stopping by St. Paul's February 23rd from noon until 2. That's St. Paul's Lutheran Church on Manchester Road in De Pere, Missouri.
The idea that our creation is the result of a fluke, an accident, is ridiculous. 100,000 monkeys typing on 100,000 typewriters, even after 1,000,000 years, would never produce the works of William Shakespeare.
But they might produce several episodes of Wrestling with the Basics, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m.
on air or on demand.
A click away 24 hours a day at KFUO.org.
Sing for Joy is a weekly program of music that pleases the ear and nourishes the heart. Join us.
Sundays at noon on KFUO, the messenger of good news.
Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
And the sounds you hear in the background are Mando, but not the character from the Disney series. But this is a robot created by the Robo Raiders, an awesome robotics team here in the Metro St. Louis area, the Metro East St. Louis area. And they have brought Mando to studio to demonstrate for us and share about their upcoming competition. Tomorrow morning, they are headed to the state competition. Is that right? State championships. Yeah, that's really exciting. And we've been learning about the process of creating and building, designing, engineering the robot, and now demonstrating it. Check out Facebook, facebook.com/KFUO radio. You can see Facebook Live. Sarah's got the camera going right now, so you can see Mando in action.
It's super cool.
It's pretty neat. So what's Mando doing right now?
So right now, Mando is picking up these basically giant Lego blocks and stacking them on top of a foundation. That's the challenge this year. We have lots of Lego blocks that we're trying to stack up into the tallest tower we can. So I don't know how tall we're going to be able to get today, but we try to get it as high as possible.
So what was your inspiration? Was the Tower of Babel for this project? No? So,
very funny.
As you prepare for the competition, what's the most, I guess, stressful part of a competition? It sounds like, as you were describing it earlier, there are many aspects to the competition. Hannah?
Yeah, probably getting the robot to work in the first place. It's pretty stressful because sometimes it doesn't like to obey, and then that's pretty stressful. And yeah.
It doesn't like to obey.
No.
Speaking as if it has, it just knocked down the whole tower. Speaking as if it has a mind of its own.
Oh yes, it has a personality. It has a mind of its own.
Yet you created it. How fascinating. Other aspects of the competition that you find stressful? What's the most stressful part for you, Taylor?
So at competition, we all have different roles. There's the scouts who scout out the other teams, the drive team who runs the robot during the competition, and then we have the people in the pit who answer the judges' questions. So all of us, when the judges come, we try to have as many people in the pit as possible, but we're on a college campus, so everyone is everywhere, all spread out. So we have to really find people and bring them in, because some people specialize in different questions. So the communication aspect of the competition is probably the most stressful part.
So what kind of questions do the judges ask you during the competition?
So there's a couple different awards. There's one on how your robot looks, how innovative your robot is, your outreach that you did, like teaching classes and things like that, and then professionals. So judges will come and ask you questions on those specific things. They usually ask us a lot of questions about our outreach and professional connections, because that's where we're really strong in.
Yeah, it sounds like it with the stories that you've told us already. So you mentioned teaching classes. Do you go out and teach about robotics?
Yes. So over the summer, we did 3 robotics camps, and they were a lot of fun. Oh, okay. We did those, and they were a lot of fun. So we actually teach them how to program robots, and we teach them a little bit about the building aspect as well. So that's a lot of fun for us and for the students, and we actually made the curriculum ourselves, and we teach it ourselves.
And currently we're actually teaching 4 FLL classes at our homeschool co-op and then 1 at our library. And then I'm teaching at a private school robotics once a week. So that's pretty cool. It's where I used to attend, and I was on my first FLL team. So it's all coming for full circle.
What's FLL?
It's like the little version of this. So they're little Lego robots, and then they program them and run them on a little field. So it's preparing you to come up to this level of robotics.
That would be my level.
What is just one or maybe 2 things that you've learned in this process, being on this team, that you really value or you think is going to be very helpful to you in the future? What's something that you've learned as being a part of this team?
So one thing that I've learned working on a team is to work on a team, because I've never really worked with another group of people before, and so it was really helpful just to learn the different aspects of preferring each other and making sure that everyone's included in everything, and just working on a team like that. And another aspect is the physics and the math side of things, because I didn't really know a lot about that, but our mentor actually teaches us. He wrote a FTC book with a bunch of the math and physics and he teaches us at almost every meeting, just the different physics aspects of that.
Wow.
One thing that I've learned along the same vein as Hannah said is how to be able to lead other people. Before I was on the team, I knew how to do things and I knew how to follow other people's lead, but I didn't really know how to lead other people in doing things. But through being on the Robo Raiders and on a robotics team, I've been able to lead other people in doing tasks that I could do.
What would you say is unique about your robot this year, about Mando? Because I remember seeing the robot last year, and there were some things that looked kind of similar about the robot. I'm trying to remember what it did. It picked up, was it balls? And then
little balls and blocks.
Balls and blocks. So this year it's stacking larger blocks. What's unique about Mando this year? Who would like to address that? Bella?
So one thing that's pretty unique about our robot this year is the number of custom parts that we have on it. Since we really, now everybody on the team knows how to use our CNC machine, we can make parts a lot easier and faster with everybody knowing how to work the machine now. So that's one thing.
So the robot's name is Mando. Is there a reason behind that?
A lot of us just really like The Mandalorian, and this year the game is sponsored by Star Wars.
Oh, really?
So we thought it was the perfect opportunity to name our robot Mando, and we actually have Baby Yoda on the... At the end of the game, we have to put a little marker on top of our stack of blocks to get extra points. So we have Baby Yoda on our little marker because, of course, Mando has to have Baby Yoda.
And if you're on Facebook Live, you can see the Baby Yoda that they put on top. So these blocks, they're yellow, but a few of them have black on them. And I asked while we were in the break, why there was black on some of them. So what is why is there black on some of the blocks?
Yeah, so the ones with the black on them are called Sky Stones. And at the beginning, we have an autonomous period where we program our robot and we don't touch the controls. It just it does the things that we tell it to most of the time. And yes. And the Sky Stones, if you're able to find the Sky Stones, they're lined up in a line. And if you're able to find them and bring them over the line, that's like 10 points versus the ones without the picture on them. If you bring one of those over, it's just 1 or 2 points.
Are you ever afraid of your robot going rogue droid and just taking over everything?
Yeah, because in the competition, so at our last competition, our Alliance Partners robot did that. And for penalties, they don't take away your points, they give the other team points. Mm-hmm. So in total, at the end of the match, I think we gave our opponent 65 points through the penalties in the autonomous period. Yeah.
Wait, so what happened? Man. What happened with the robot? I was just kidding, but you're serious.
So it was not intentional or anything. It was just a little mess up. Basically, the rules are you can only score 1 block at a time. That way, you can't be just hoarding a whole bunch of blocks and score them right at the end. So in the autonomous period, though, they had accidentally not released one of their blocks, so it was still on their robot. So then as they went back to get the other one, they still had it. So then when they were scoring the second block they were scoring, they accidentally scored both of them at the same time, which which scored a major for each block that you scored at the same time, plus a minor for doing it, which is 45 points, and there's an additional 20 points in penalties somewhere else.
Leave it to the math guy. How do you... some of you have been on the team for a couple of years now. We only have just about 2 minutes left. How do you build on your years of experience? This team has been around for a while, several years now. How do you build on the experience of past years and as new team members and those who have some experience?
So this year we're really focused on eliminating tribal knowledge because next year we're going to have 5 seniors. So that will be like half of the team just gone. So we focused on teaching the younger team members about programming and the marketing side and all of that in the CAD, just so we don't lose that knowledge. And we really try to build off of the past years and make sure we're building up the future years.
Matthew, you've been on the team for a couple of years now. What do you think? How do you build on the years past?
So yeah, like what Taylor was saying, we try to make sure that we pass on all the things we learn in 1 year to the next year. Some other ways we do that is after our last competition, last year that was the World's competition. Hopefully it'll be the World's competition again this year. Each team member wrote down like a page or two of things they learned this year that they would like future teams to know. And then future teams can look back on that document and see what other people have learned and learn from that. Also, we've been intentional about people who were experienced in our CAD software, our programming software, and the softwares we use for our CNC and 3D printer to be able to train new people this year. So we are now at the most programmers we've ever had at 6 people experienced in the software. We're at the most CAD designers we've ever had at 6 people experienced in the software, and everybody has worked with the CNC machine.
Outstanding. We only have a few seconds left. How can we follow what's going on with the Robo Raiders and see how you're doing in the competition?
So we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. FTC7129 is the easiest way to find us. So FTC7129, the Robo Raiders on Facebook, and we have YouTube. So you'll be able to see our match videos and how we do at the state competition, and hopefully how we move on to the world competition.
Well, congratulations, and we hope everything goes well for you. Safe travels tomorrow as well. Thanks for joining us in the studio this morning, Robo Raiders.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.